Okay, hello students. So today we are going to discuss about the LPC 2148 evaluation board. So let's start with first we'll discuss about the basics of our LPC 2148. So the board is by designed and developed by ALS. So that is the company. So the ARM7T6 evaluation board is a study board which includes LPC 2148 ARM7 TDMI-S microcontroller with USB 2.0 full speed device, multiple UARTs, SPI, I2C and on-chip flash and SRAM up to 40 KB produced by NXP Semiconductors. So basically this is the evaluation board which we will be having from ALS, which is having our microcontroller LPC2148, which is an ARM7 based microcontroller. So it is supporting us USB 2.0 and even multiple UARTs, SPI, I2C. So we know that this SPI, I2C are nothing but the communication protocols. So onboard communication protocols. We have already discussed all this in our module 3, right? What is USB, what is UART, what is SPI, I2C. So they are nothing but communication protocols, right? So these devices or this onboard or external communication devices, the particular microcontroller need to communicate with the external peripheral with the microcontroller, or it may need to communicate with the external world, like it may need to communicate with the computer, okay, or some other external devices. So that are the protocols. So it is supported with all these protocols. Even it is providing us 512K of flash. So flash memory. So we know that this flash memory is nothing but non-volatile memory. So even if the power is gone, whatever was dumped or stored in that, it will be there. Okay, and these memories are electrically erased and programmable. So they can be electrically erasable and programmable. So we know that we are having a microcontroller with a flash memory. So every time if we want to try with some other different programs, we should be able to dump that program, and even we should be able to erase it and dump another program. So that's why we have this 512K of flash memory, and static RAM is provided 40 KB, and this is produced by the NXP Semiconductors. Okay, now this ARM7 TDMI-S. So what is this TDMI-S stands for? So we know that what is ARM7. ARM7 is a processor. Okay, so that particular TDMI stands for T stands for thumb. So already in the first and second module we have already discussed what is thumb. So this ARM7 support two instruction set. One is thumb and one is ARM. So thumb architecture, ARM architecture, or the instruction set, we know that, right? So T stands for thumb. Thumb is supporting 16-bit instruction, right? And ARM supports 32-bit instructions. We know that, we already studied in the first and second module. So that T stands for thumb, D stands for debug, okay, M stands for multiplier, and I stands for IDE, okay, enhance IDE, and S is for synthesizer, and is for or we can say that synthesizable. This is a synthesizable. So is a general purpose 32-bit microprocessor which offers high performance and very low power consumption. Okay, so we know that already these microcontrollers or microprocessors are low power consumptions. They require very less power. The ARM processor is based on reduced instruction set. It is based on RISC architecture. Okay, so we know that what is RISC architecture, what is CISC architecture. So ARM7 is based on the RISC architecture, and the instruction set and related decode mechanism are much simpler than those microprogram complex instruction set computers. Okay, so less instruction set and simpler one. This simplifies, results in high instruction throughput and impressive real-time interrupt response from a small and cost effective processor core. Okay, so it is simplifying the results and it is giving high throughput. So it is that we know that simple words, it is the performance of this is very good, right? Performance is high. So we know that even ARM7 this supports pipelining, so pipelining techniques, so it supports 3-stage pipelining, that also we have studied. So the pipelining techniques are employed so that all the parts of the processing and memory systems can operate continuously. So typically while one instruction is being executed, its successor is being decoded and the third instruction is being fetched from the memory. So we know that fetch, decode and execute. So that is what 3-stage pipelining it is support. We have already studied this. Okay, so that is the advantage of ARM7. So the ARM7 TDMIS processor also employs a unique architectural strategy known as thumb. So we have already studied what is thumb architecture and ARM architecture, right? So thumb supports 16-bit instructions where you want to write a code where you can just write a code using a 16-bit instruction rather than a 32-bit instruction. We can easily write that in a thumb so that the instruction size will be less, even the program size will be less. Okay, so which make it ideally suitable to high volume applications with memory restrictions or applications where the code density is an issue. So that's what, because of the thumb, the code density will be less, so we can store that particular code written in a 16-bit instructions in a very smaller memory space. So where the memory space saving is important, there we can go for this thumb architecture using the thumb instruction set. The key idea behind the thumb is that the super reduced instruction set. Okay, so essentially ARM7 TDMIS processor have two instruction set. We know that is a 32-bit ARM instruction standard and a 16-bit thumb instruction. So the thumb set 16-bit instruction length allows it to approach twice the density of the standard ARM code while remaining most of the ARM processor's advantage over a traditional 16-bit processor using a 16-bit register. So this is possible because the thumb code operates on the same 32-bit register set as the ARM code. Thumb code is able to provide up to 65% of the code size of ARM and 160% of the performance of an equivalent ARM processor connected to 16-bit memory system. So that's what we know that it is if we are using a 16-bit thumb instructions and thumb mode, the performance will be far better than the 32-bit mode. Okay, so these things we have already discussed in the first module. So these are some basic about our ARM7 TDMIS processor. So now with this particular processor or microcontroller, we have this particular evaluation board which is developed and designed by this ARM Advanced Electronic System ALS. Okay, so this board what we have is ARM7 LPC 2148 evaluation board. So this particular board is designed and developed by Advanced Electronic System ALS Bangalore. So based on what syllabus we have, what particular experiments we have, based on that they have designed this particular board and even some more things they have attached, so that if you want to learn something furthermore, so with that we can do that particular experiments also. So we need to discuss about this particular board, because whatever the part B experiments we have, all that we need to conduct on this particular board and we need to check the outputs. So already we have started learning about the general purpose input output registers, GPIO pins and all, and even we have discussed 4 to 5 experiments already, how to find out the which particular pins are used to connect this particular motor or a DAC and all to our microcontroller, and how to write the code for that particular experiment. So that all already we have discussed, right? So that was the important thing. After that, the whatever the code we have written, we need to dump into this particular evaluation board or the kit. So just we'll go step by step. You need to understand that. So here in the center, what we can find, this is nothing but our microcontroller, what we have here. Okay, ARM7. So LPC2148 microcontroller we have in the center. Okay, and all this other things what we are looking around, that all are connected with our microcontroller. Okay, so it is on board, we can say that, right? It is on board communication. So that protocols what it was supporting, that protocols are used to communicate with this the external things with this particular microcontroller. Okay, so we'll just discuss about this particular board specifications what we have. Okay, so this LPC2148 is a 16 or 32-bit ARM TD-MIS with 512K of kilobytes of program flash and 42 kilobytes of RAM. Okay, so it is having this particular program flash and 42 kilobytes of RAM that is provided. 12 megahertz crystal allows easy communication setup. So the crystal will clock frequencies, with that the communication will happen. One onboard voltage regulator for generating 3.3 volt. Input to this will be from external 5 volt DC power supply through a 9-pin D sub connector. Okay, now what this particular kit is required, the board is providing us a voltage regulator which is 3.3 volt. So we are giving 5 volt, and it is converting that to a 3.3 volt. So now this 5 volt DC is also given to this particular kit through a 9-pin D sub connector. Okay, one RS232 interface circuit with 9-pin D sub connector. This is used by the bootloader program to program the LPC2148 flash memory without the external programmer. Okay, so now what is this? So they are providing us one RS232 interface circuit with the 9-pin D sub connector. So basically what we are doing is, we know that we are writing the code in our computer, right? So we are using a kill IDE, we are writing our code, right? Once we are written our code, which we are writing in embedded C, so we are storing that with a .c extension, right? But our microcontroller will not understand the high level language, which is a C. So it will understand only a machine level language. So that's why this particular .c file we need to convert into a hex file. Okay, so even these things also we have discussed in our module 4. So once we have converted this to a hex file, the kill tool itself will provide us a feature that we can convert that file to a hex file. And once that hex file is generated, which is now a machine understandable, that we need to put into the memory of our microcontroller. So where is the memory of our microcontroller? Memory of our microcontroller is on this board, right? So whatever the program we have written in our computer, that we need to dump into this board, right? So they have to be connected. So that's why they have provided this RS232 cable. Okay, so this with a 9 D sub cable with this 9 pin. Here we can observe these are the 9 pins inside that D sub cable. So one side this is RS232 and one side you have a USB. Okay, so likewise we connect our particular hard drive or a pen drive or a mouse or a keyboard to this particular USB of our computer, like a CPU. There is a slot to connect the USB. So there we will be connecting this USB side, okay, and this another side what we have a 9 pin that has to be connected here, that has to be connected here, that has to be connected here. So this is the cable which is gonna communicate with particular from our computer into this microcontroller. Okay, here you can see that a UART interface it is written. So this UART or RS-232 interface is provided for dumping our code into this particular kit. Okay, understood. So one side it is we have a USB which we are gonna connect to our particular CPU. Okay, and another side that pin we are gonna connect to our kit. So through this cable, through serial communication, we will be dumping our machine code, what is hex file, into this particular flash memory. Okay, and once it is dumped, so microcontroller will be knowing what it has to perform now. Okay, so that is the thing when we want to dump a code into it. So that's why this RS-232 interface circuit is provided to dump the code into the flash memory. Then piggyback module containing LPC2148 controller. So this piggyback nothing but the electronic module to handle some sensor signals and all. So that is also provided. A standard JTAG connector with ARM 2x10 pin layout of programming or debugging with ARM JTAG. Now this JTAG is nothing but a standard industry standard which is used for testing purpose. So once we are done a PCB or that is ready, so if you want to test whether it is working or not, so that connector is provided so we can test whether it is working or not. So for testing purpose this is provided. Then we have a standard 26 pin FRC connectors. So FRC nothing but a flat ribbon cables we have, so that are there to connect the onboard interface or some of the ALS standards external interface. So it is to connect the onboard and some external standard interface of ALS. So that is also provided. So we can see here that. So here these are the flat FRC cables. Okay, here we have this FRC cable. Okay, and one more we have studied JTAG. So here it is the JTAG provided, so through which we can test that particular kit whether it is everything is proper or not, and through this FRC cable it is connecting the onboard interfaces with some standard external interfaces. Okay, so then the next what there is as a reset and push button. So through that we can reset the microcontroller. Then the SPI interface is provided. 2-channel ADC IC with a port and a temperature sensor is connected through the SPI interface. So microcontroller is communicating with this ADC IC with this SPI interface. I2C interface is with I2C interface we are connected NV-ROM IC. Okay, so that's what I said, that are the onboard communication. So this microcontroller is communicating with this ICs through that particular interface protocols. So onboard 8 push button switches are provided, 4x4 key matrix connected to the port lines of the controller, 8 general purpose LEDs are provided. So all these things are designed as per our syllabus requirement. So what all experiments we have, that has to be conducted with the microcontroller, and this external things are required. So this ALS provided us this particular one single board on which all these particular experiments are already designed and assembled on that. Okay, so that's why for every experiments what we have studied till now, we are selecting that particular pins. So that pins are fixed where I am connecting my DC motor, where I am connecting my stepper motor, because they have already designed by using that particular pins. Okay, clear? So that's why we are using that particular pins only to connect that particular DC motor or stepper motor or DAC to our microcontroller. Okay, so that's what it is providing. 4 digital multiplexer, 7 segment display, 8-bit DAC interface, stepper motor interface with direction of speed control, DC motor interface circuit for broad buzzer and relay, a number of software examples in C language to illustrate the function of the interface. The software examples are compiled using the evaluation version of Kill 4. Compact elegant plastic enclosure, so that all covered in a plastic enclosure. serial RS-232 cable is included with the kit. That's what I have shown. RS-232 and one side USB to dump the code, and operates on a 5 volt DC. Okay, so this 5 volt DC can be provided with our mobile charger kind of thing that we can connect to the kit. Through that also it can give the 5 voltage to the kit to operate. Okay, so let's discuss more about this particular kit. So that is what all this features or this board, evaluation board, is providing as per our syllabus requirement of the lab, and some more features also it is providing, so that we can use this microcontroller and we can do some other things also. So let's discuss more about this board. So as I told, at the center we have this particular microcontroller, okay, LPC2148. Now starting from the left top, we have already discussed. So we have this particular here RS-232 interface to dump the code into the kit. Even there it is a serial communication UART interface. So this UART is we will be using to send something from our microcontroller to our computer. Now we are doing is, from our computer we are sending the code to this microcontroller what we have written. Okay, so sometimes the same wire can be used to send something from our microcontroller to the computer. Okay, so here you are having this ISP, in system programming. So this red switch is provided. If the switch is on, then only we will be able to dump the code into it. If this particular switch is off, it will we will not be able to dump the code into the kit. So that switch always has to be in the on. Now beside that there is reset circuit is provided, so a push button is provided. With that we can reset our microcontroller. Okay, so in the next picture I have some more cleared view of that. So here we can see, so we have this UART interface here, then this is the red switch. If that is off, then we will not be able to dump our code. This is the reset push button. So if we reset our microcontroller, we reset and it will start executing the program from the first. Okay, then we have this external interrupt. Okay, external interrupt, then external interrupt, one external interrupt, that's what we have. Then internal ADC, analog to digital converter. Okay, so we have this analog to digital converter here, right? So this we will be connecting with a port. Then we have a pulse width modulator, PWM. Then here we have 4x4 keypad. So with this, what if I am pressing something on this particular keypad, this LCD is there, 16x2 LCD display. On this we can see what key is pressed. So that is one of the experiment. If I press something on the key, we will be able to see the output on this LCD display. Okay, so this is about basically the left side. On the right hand side of the kit, what all we have, we can see. So what all experiment we have studied till now, all are there on the right hand side, what we can see. Now see the first on this, here it is a power supply. So there are two options for the power supply. See this black is like a charger, like a pin we can connect and give a power supply, and this again D sub connector is there. With that we can give the power supply to the kit, so which is a 5 volt power supply is needed. Okay, then below that we have here a DC motor interface, right? We have a DC motor interface. See here, 2 pins connection is required for a DC motor, where we will be connecting the 2 pins of our DC motor. So that's what we have seen, already studied how to write a program for a DC motor. Then we have a relay provided here. Then relay and buzzer experiment is there, so relay buzzer is provided. Then next is stepper motor. So see here, ABCD 4 pins and one is a 5 volt pin is provided for stepper motor interface. So we have already studied 4 pins ABCD clockwise, anti-clockwise. So that is provided. So we need to connect our stepper motor here, and we can rotate that in a clockwise anti-clockwise once we are dump the code in our microcontroller. So that can be observed here. Then we have DAC, digital to analog converter. So see here, this is our DAC, digital to analog converter, and the analog output can be seen on the CRO. So these are the two pins where we will be connecting our CRO. Okay, so and we can see the analog output like a square wave and triangular wave on it. Okay, so that's what, as I told, like checking the output by connecting the system, connecting the skit is not gonna take more than 2 minutes, but writing the program and understanding how to write that is very important. Okay, because using this board the things are made easy for us, that we just. So after that we have this also here, 7 segment displays. So the 7 segment displays are connected. So we have already studied a experiment for this. We have to display from 0 to F on this 7 segment display. So that 7 segment display is also connected here. So for this 7 segment there is also a red color switch is provided, button is provided. So that particular button, when that is on, then all the 4 segments are active. If you turn off any particular button, the particular segment will be off. And this we have already told, this is a LCD display is provided whenever, if you are sending something to the pressing any key on it, or if your microcontroller want to send anything or receive anything, that also can be displayed on this particular LCD display. So basically this is about the evaluation board. One should know about all this particular, where which particular experiment is there and what all connections has to be done. So simply there are only 2 connections we need to do for this particular board. Is one is for just connecting one to our computer system to dump the code, and another is a power connection. Okay, after that, just if we required any external thing, we need to connect, which is the DC motor, stepper motor, or a CRO to check the output. So this is about basic about the evaluation board LPC21.